Welcome to AZPM News Daily, a recap of all the stories we covered here today at Arizona Public Media. I'm Laura Holansky. It is Monday, August 17th. In today's headlines, President Trump proposing changes to an early childhood education program. Pima County opened its first advocacy center. And immigrant children are facing more challenges in immigration court. Up first today, President Donald Trump's administration is proposing revisions to a nationwide program that provides early childhood education for low-income families. Noor Hagigi has more on how those changes could affect class sizes for more than 16,000 Arizona kids in Head Start.
Arizona providers would be expected to meet a maximum staff-student ratio of 1 to 20 for classes with 4-year-olds. The current standard is 1 to 15. Gabby Berryhill's 5-year-old son went to a Head Start preschool in Graham County, where his classroom was at a 1 to 6 staff-student ratio. She says that allowed him to get the support he needed in math, literacy, and speech development.
These teachers show up every day for kids in impossible situations and give them hope and give them love and give them safety. And how do we put a price on that?
Health and Human Services says the proposal intends to bring more children into the program, but Berryhill worries the quality of education will be sacrificed if the changes are approved. Noor Hagigi, AZPM News.
It's been more than 2 weeks since the Trump administration ended a federal contract to fund legal representation for unaccompanied immigrant children. As Angela Gervasi reports, an Arizona organization that works with detained kids says they're already seeing the effects.
On July 31st, federal funding expired for a network of organizations that provides legal services for immigrant children. Attorneys and advocates say that will result in more than 20,000 unaccompanied kids losing their lawyers. The Florence Project, a nonprofit that provides services to immigrants in Arizona, says kids are now facing more challenges in immigration court. For instance, in the past 2 weeks, the organization says it's seen children ordered to be deported from the country before they can present their asylum cases in court. The group estimates that immigrant children without legal representation have less than a 1% chance of winning the right to stay in the United States. Angela Gervasi, AZPM News.
After 8 years of planning and collaboration, Pima County now has its first coordinated advocacy center for survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. Ellen Boyd has this story.
The Pima Family Advocacy Center acts as a one-stop shop, bringing together law enforcement, legal aid, and counseling services under a single roof to reduce the trauma of navigating multiple systems. Executive Director Joseph Ricks says the facility is designed to put the needs of survivors first.
The medical suite definitely is one of those things we want to do. We want to be able to have, again, that a survivor could come and receive sex assault exams, they could receive strangulation exams, they could have a nurse meet with them, all in one place.
The center hosted its grand opening on Friday at its location on Broadway and Tucson Boulevards. The next goal is to fundraise for a medical services unit to be added to the center. L.M. Boyd, AZPM News.
The Trump administration has long touted its hardline policies from immigrants across the board and enacted changes at the border that have essentially ended the asylum process there. But a new report from the Southern Arizona aid group Humane Borders shows undocumented immigrants are still crossing the border and dying. Their data shows 19 bodies were discovered along the Arizona-Mexico border in July, the highest monthly total in 2 years.
If there's an existential need or an existential push for migrants or asylum seekers to leave from wherever they're at, some are going to make the attempt to come here.
That was Brad Jones with Humane Borders. He says just like during past eras, this period of ramped-up border enforcement has not stopped migration. Staying at the border, a federal judge is denying calls for a preliminary injunction by the Tohono Nation to halt border wall construction along a 60-foot stretch of land bordering the tribal reservation. Gabriel Pietrozio has details.
Judge Richard Leone in D.C. ruled last week that an injunction is unwarranted, writing he expects the U.S. to follow through on consulting with the Tohono Nation. Historically, that hasn't been the case, according to Tohono Chairman Verlin Jose. He points to the destruction of the 1,000-year-old Las Playas Intaglio as the latest example.
We were assured that the border wall construction would not impact that But despite that warning and assurances, federal contractors just bladed right through it.
Still, the judge noted that the Fed's interest in ensuring public safety and enforcing immigration laws, quote, outweigh any surviving irreparable harms.
A federal trial against tech giant Meta begins on Tuesday. Attorneys general from more than 24 states, including Arizona, are accusing the company of knowingly implementing addictive features that harm children. Angela Gervasi reports.
Attorney General Chris Mays is among the prosecutors who filed a lawsuit against Meta earlier this year. The bipartisan coalition of attorneys general accuses Facebook and Instagram of developing purposely addictive features, such as infinite scrolling and push notifications. The lawsuit also alleges Meta is collecting data from users under the age of 13 without parental consent, something that would violate federal law. In a statement Monday, Mays accused the company of prioritizing profit over the well-being of children. In March, New Mexico's Attorney General won a similar lawsuit against Meta, prompting a federal judge to implement new restrictions for the tech giant within that state. Angela Gervasi, AZPM News.
And now you're caught up on the stories we've covered today at Arizona Public Media. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to AZPM News Daily wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Laura Holansky. We will be back tomorrow.